this time I'm going to show you the first build I experimented with after getting bored of LRMs on the Catapult C1. So, still using the exact same mech, it's going to have a very different playstyle though. So again, I want to show you that if you're a new player, even though you have a limited number of mechs, you can still outfit them very, very differently, and they'll play very differently. So you can get a lot of mileage out of having just one mech. So don't worry about it if it takes you a while to farm up the currency for a new one. So this one, my idea was that essentially the closer someone got to my mech, the more damage they were going to take. So I start off with extended range PPCs, and with all the modifiers I have on this mech and the skills, the PPCs have a really incredible range. You know, it's just over 1 kilometer for the optimal range. So I'm doing full damage at 1 kilometer away. So you know, it's really great if you do want to sit back and snipe, kind of like I'm doing here for some reason. I mean, I don't even have any line of sight on these guys, and I'm just taking shots. I really shouldn't be doing that, but I am, because I do things. So then if they get closer, then your medium lasers, in this case, you know, they've got over 300 meters range, but with most energy weapons, you can hit at twice your optimal range. So, you know, if they get up to about 600 meters, I can start hitting them with PPCs and medium lasers. And then if they get within that 300 meter range, I can start hitting them with all of my weapons, you know, short range missiles, medium lasers, and ER PPCs. What I eventually found with this build, and you'll see a fair amount of here, is that it is just too hot.
Target spotted.
You know, I mean, ER PPCs by themselves already generate a lot of heat, and when you pair the extended range the medium lasers and the short range missiles with the ER PPCs, it just gets very, very hot very quickly. And so if someone does, you know, get in very close,
New target.
you'll be able to do some pretty decent damage, but not for long. You know, you'll probably take a couple of shots and then
New target
you won't be doing much.
acquired.
So it's not a very good build. I don't recommend it. You know, it's I guess it's okay. I mean, I do all right in this match,
New target acquired.
but find something else. You know, there's probably a better version of this build. You know, a better version of that concept.
Need assistance.
One other thing you'll see is my short-range missile shots are awful for pretty much the entire match. I kind of start to get the hang of it towards the end of the match. The problem is, this particular mech has doors on the missile bays, and those take about half a second to open up, which delays your firing by half a second. So I shot the building in front of me instead of the, you know, Atlas, the gigantic Atlas. You know, I actually managed to miss it because I had forgotten about that half-second delay in firing missiles. Also, very quickly, that right there is the one time where it's kind of okay to shut down. When you shut down, you don't immediately lose all your velocity or your momentum. So I knew I was right next to cover, and I was backing up pretty hard. So when I shut down, I slid behind the building, even though I had technically already shut down. And so I had cover, which gave me time to start my mech up again.
Target spotted.
But back to the missiles, again, you're just going to see me whiff a lot of shots with the missiles because of that half-second delay on the bay doors opening up. There is a key that you can press to open up your bay doors so you don't have that firing delay, but the problem is the bay doors protect your missiles from damage. I've heard a couple of different versions of how that protects them exactly. I think, though, the way that it works is your internal components are more likely to be critically hit with the bay doors open. The other version I heard was that you just take 10% less damage when the bay doors are closed, or 10% less to that component.
Target spotted.
Anyway, we have a pretty decent lead at this point, and I'm being just too careful at this, in this little passageway. Mostly because I know there's an Atlas to my right and a light mech to my left. So no matter which way I face, I've got a problem. In the end, since this Warhammer moves forward, I feel like that kind of opens it up enough for me to somewhat safely start shooting. I mean, he gives me a target, right in front of my face, and so I decide, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. We've got a huge lead. I pop a UAV just so I can see where they are if they start sneaking up on me. And here I finally get that Atlas that I've been on for, it feels like, half the game. Now there's just one target in hiding somewhere.
We've destroyed target Alpha.
Yeah, I don't know why my teammates decided to destroy their secondary targets. I guess just because they were bored and it was something to shoot at. Those will increase the enemy's timer by 15 seconds apiece. So if they had gone down to, let's say, 30 seconds and we destroy one of their targets, it'll jump up to 45 seconds instead of 30. You cannot increase above the
I just took
1
fire
minute mark.
from the Hotel 7 area.
New target.
And so one of my teams just said teammates just said he got shot, and everyone finds the last guy. There's an Arctic wolf, I think. Arctic something. It's either cheetah or wolf, but I think it's a wolf. And it's an LRM boat, a small LRM boat with ECM, so it's pretty easy to hide. I'm not super fond of this setup, but I mean, I see why they like it, It's a portable LRM boat, And I think I blow off his leg fairly soon here. Yeah, right there.
Heat level critical.
And I'm cooking myself pretty hard at this point because I know that he's going to die very, very soon, so my mech will not have time to melt down. So when the score pops up, you see I still only got one kill. I did a good amount more damage, and I took off a lot more components. The LRMs, I destroyed one component, but that was really with lasers. This time I destroyed 7 components, so I think the performance increase shows how much better you can do with your own skill instead of relying on long-range missiles.